Hey everybody, welcome. Hopefully you can hear me and the video's good. Welcome to the Rook 2020 build. I don't know how long this will be, but we'll get some assembly done for sure. How's everyone doing? I have to apologize, I'm a little bit sick, but printers must be built, so I might have to mute here and there to cough or whatever it might be, but hopefully everyone can hear me and all the audio and stuff is good. So yeah, like I say, I don't know how much we're going to get done today. I have, I'm putting together this printer with spare parts, essentially. I don't have a lot of, parts like ordered for this printer. It's just stuff I've had lying around. I had a old, well, not old, but I have a V0, an LDO V0 S1 bed. This actually came in my Fabrico kit, but it was not drilled properly, so I had to do some drilling and some chamfering to make it work, but I got it working. I just have a cough, like chest thing, so yeah, just a little bit coffee and stuff like that. A little bit under the weather, not 100%, but not like flu sick or anything like that. I don't even know if I could build through that, but I'm okay enough to definitely build some printers and do some live stream, but my voice definitely is like, has a deeper sound to it and stuff because I'm sick, so. But I want to try and do a live stream every Saturday, and I've got like 4 printers to build. So we're building the Rook 2020 today. Next Saturday will be the Panda Mini. The Saturday after that will probably be the V0.2 build. So I have those 3, and then I'm also building Cappy, which is on my table over there. So I have 4 printers I'm assembling at the same time. So I have a lot of parts being ordered and going back and forth to my parts bin and trying to make sure that I have everything and stuff like that. So off stream, I have finished up my geared Z. So I have my motor here mounted and tensioned. This is a 188 millimeter belt, closed loop belt. I have 3D printed this 80 tooth pulley. This is a model off of Printables. You can kind of see here, hopefully, how it works. So we have our 20 tooth pulley in there. I have a little spacer. The spacers are on Printables, so there's like a 9 and 8 millimeter, and most likely I'll add a 7 millimeter spacer. I actually needed a 7 mil spacer for my particular setup. My pulley size is a little bit different. So yeah, basically just a 20 tooth pulley, spacer, and 2 F695 bearings. So my Gear Z is all set up. We're going to run the belt. Actually, I think we're going to run the belt now because I do have the tensioner mount and all that kind of stuff assembled. So we can go ahead and do that. Hoping to catch up to you on the Panda Mini build by next week. Awesome. Yeah, you'll definitely probably catch up to me. My Panda Mini, I still have to order a couple parts for it. Just kind of tip for everybody. Do not buy cheap motors and idlers. I recently just kind of really dove into this and found this out. So I usually buy cheap Amazon motors, and they've worked for me in the past, but I haven't really paid too close attention to them. So I use these cheap motors. These are like $12 a piece off of Amazon. A lot of these are bent, as far as I can tell. Same thing with cheap Amazon pulleys. These are also bent. They're not straight. So I don't recommend buying cheap components. These pulleys here are Gates ones that I got locally. I'm going to be using these motors for Z motors because generally they should be okay for Z, but I don't recommend cheap motors on X and Y. Buy Stepper Online or LDO or a quality motor, Moons or something like that. I was building Cappy, and actually my Panda build that is printing right like beside me, like fully assembled. If you move the motion, you can feel the actual out of roundness on the motor shafts and the bearing and the pulleys. So when you slide the gantry back and forth, you can feel it as it like goes around the kind of non-centric part. So if you want really nice print quality, I highly recommend your X and Y motors are Stepper Online, or get some LDO motors if you can. So I just bought 4 LDO motors. 2 of them are going in my Panda Mini live stream build, which will be on Saturday, and I ordered 2 for Cappy because yeah, I finally just noticed it when I was doing this Cartesian Cappy build. I was moving the bed back and forth, and I could see the bearing, I could see the pulley wobbling, and also the motor shaft wobbling. So yeah, just something to note for everyone. Definitely don't cheap out on motors and also pulleys. Also, I found out another reason why it's good to use bearings for idlers. Bearings are a lot more round than cheap idlers off of Amazon. So like cheapo idlers, 20-tooth idlers on Amazon, they're also bent and out of round. You can see them when you spin them. So F695 bearings are way more precise, and that's why I recommend them for idlers. So just a little tip for everyone out there: if you're troubleshooting printing issues and stuff like that, buy some good motors for X and Y. Try to get Gates pulleys on your motors, and also use F695 bearings with a ABEC rating of 7 or greater. So just a little tip. I'm going to try and run the belted Z right now, but first I do have to get my mount installed. Where did I put my... Just gotta get a tool here. So yeah, I learn something every time I build a printer. So every time I design a printer or I build a new one or something like that, I always learn something. Doesn't matter what I'm building. Even a bed slinger Cartesian printer you can learn stuff from. Okay. So I need some M5x8 and some T-nuts. So we're just assembling the Z idler mount here, which is also the tensioner. Let's see if this is going to be long enough. Okay. So this goes like this. Gonna snug them just temporarily so I can get like the idler and stuff in place. So I'm gonna grab some bearings here. So we need 2 for the Z idler. And I just want to double check something here. Does not look like that. And then I need grab these 2. Need an M5x16 bolt. I definitely don't care about judgment, so no worries there. Okay, let's get some idler bearings in here. I might have to get my door if it rings because I'm waiting for Amazon to come pick up a return that I'm doing. So I might have to just hop upstairs for 2 minutes just to get that return. Okay, so let's actually take this off, maybe. Make my life a bit easier here. Put the idler on here first. Yeah, I know I need to do the heat certs, yes. Thanks for the reminder. I remembered to get my soldering iron out, so I will do that now. Make sure that this doesn't wobble. It's tight, but not too tight. Perfect. Okay, so we have our two F695 bearings there for the idler. And I have to plug in my soldering iron and heat that up. A nice tip, don't buy cheap soldering irons either. This soldering iron almost burnt my house down. You can see I repaired it. I don't ever leave this soldering iron plugged in, even if it's off. It was like sparking and smoking and stuff because the connection like broke and the wires touched. Not great. Lucid, I got my Voron B0 up in shooting time to source. Awesome. That's excellent. Are you going to build a Rook MK1 like the original or a 2020 MK1? Yeah, be very careful. 0010 plays. I barely used it too, and it was just sitting on my desk and it started smoking and sparking and stuff like that. Like, it was really, really bad. So I resoldered it and then like I hot glued it and did strain relief on it, but I do not leave that plugged in, and it's strictly only for heat sets, so I don't use it for anything else. So we're just gonna put some heat sets in here, set this down. I also got myself a slab of granite, so that's really nice. I have like a really nice flat surface to build stuff on, which is always helpful. It's even a nice piece of granite too. I really like the color. Perfect, yeah. I don't recommend using it for much else other than doing heat sets and stuff. And actually, yeah, I'm just gonna remove these M5s. I could probably even use M8, M5 by 10s. Do I have any? These are 10s. Yeah. So let this get a little bit hotter here. Then I got some just Amazon MGN9 rails. This Rook though is getting a treat. It's getting a West 3D Berserker rail. So if any of you need like really nice linear rails, definitely check out West 3D's Berserker stuff. I have an affiliate link on Discord if you want to use my affiliate link to support the channel. So yeah, I ordered a Berserker rail for my Cappy printer, and I also ordered a Berserker for this one. I didn't intentionally order it for this printer. I thought I was ordering 2 Berserker rails for Panda and also one for Cappy, but I totally forgot Panda doesn't use 150mm. It uses 200, so I got to make another West 3D order. Yeah, Rook 2020 MK1 is really nice printer, all thanks to Canrog. He did a really good job on it. The gear reduction Z is really nice addition to it. You get a nice sturdy frame, um, and it's definitely very easy if you have a small printer. You can print out a lot of the parts very easily. So you don't even have to print like a big frame and stuff like that, like for the Rook. So okay, I think this should be hot enough now. I'm curious, anyone here play video games, that kind of thing? I'm really waiting for City Skylines 2 to come out, I think next week. So I'll be playing some City Skylines next week as well. But I am watching some other games before they come out too, like Risk of Rain Returns, and also Endless Dungeon. I have the first one and they just made a updated one, so I want to you can print a Rook 2020 on a Rook. All the parts are printable on a Rook for the Rook 2020. Also, I'm playing Star Trek Infinite too. If anyone's ever played Stellaris before, the company just released a new version of the game, which is fully Star Trek themed, which is actually very good. So I'm having fun with it too. Oh, okay. I'm glad they fixed that game. I know it was like a heap of garbage when it came out, but it seems like, just like No Man's Sky, they just buckled down and really tried to make it actually what it's supposed to be. They should have delayed the game, of course, but at least they fixed it. Yeah, I have a friend playing Starfield. He's hooked on it too. I don't know if I could get into it. I usually don't do the big open world RPGs much, just because time and like I get lost in them like really easily. But one game that I really loved was Kingdom of Amalur. If anyone's played Kingdom of Amalur Reckoning, I think they remastered it. One of my favorite action RPGs. It's so good. Yeah, I might. I don't know. Maybe I should get into Cyberpunk 2077, but I got too many things on the go in games, and again, it's a big game too, right? Perfect. Heat set's done. I'll turn this off. I'll unplug it because I don't want any fires today. Set it over here. I paid for it. I have it on at Game Pass. It's Starfield's on Game Pass, so I didn't pay for it, but I have it available to play. Game Pass is so worth it just for stuff like that. Oh, nice. I'm also playing Diablo 4. I'm trying to beat that. Not do anything crazy, but I definitely want to beat it. Okay, let's do this again here. My wife is playing Baldur's Gate 3 because she's into those super deep RPGs and stuff like that. Okay, so let's get this back up here. Hey, Joanna, welcome. These are the cheap M5s. They don't actually work with ball end very well, and it's very annoying. There we go. Trying to get the T-net to spin, but it doesn't want to spin. There we go. Okay, that's one. So these are cheapo and like M5s, and the ball end doesn't work in them. 3 in Starfield, great games. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so I do want to just make my life easier, and I want to center this. So let's just go edge of this to edge of this. 54.3. 54.3. Let's just center this in the middle a little bit. And that's my doorbell. Just give me 1 second. Okay, there we go. Oh, glad you're here. Phew. I ordered the wrong filament. I ordered stupid 2.85 diameter filament. I still don't know why that exists. For crappy Ultramakers and stuff like that, I guess. Okay. So yeah, I can adjust this. This is loose though for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, perfect. So let's run this belt finally. I think this is going to be a long enough piece. I'm just using like any off-cut belts that I have lying around because again, I don't have any belts actually for any of my printers. I gotta order some more belts. So I just have a bunch of the offcuts from like other builds and stuff like that, so hopefully it will be enough. This will probably make my life a bit easier. Okay. So we're just feeding the belt through and then it zip ties around a piece of plastic on the inside. And I just use an Allen key to poke it through, essentially. See if I can show that a little bit. Oops. So we're just zip tying these two together as tight as we can get them and as close as we can to the top of the frame there, and then we'll go from there. I definitely want to replace the printed 80 tooth that I have, Canrog, and buy like one, because my 80 tooth wobbles slightly. It shouldn't affect print quality or anything like that, but it definitely is. It's not true and it bugs me, so I'm gonna buy an 80 tooth. I actually don't think I can find any 5mm bore ones on Amazon. So I'm going to have to AliExpress it. So zip tie this guy up. Oh yeah, for sure. West 3D has a lot of awesome parts. I've recently just started ordering from them. I know they're in the States, but shipping's not too bad, and they actually have like quality parts I can't get in Canada. Um, like I can't get linear rails, like decent linear rails in Canada. I can't. I have to get them from a place like that. So, like I say, if you're buying stuff from West 3D, use my affiliate link on Discord. It's on the West 3D channel. It definitely helps out for sure. But yeah, I'm happy to support companies like that that have really good customer service, really good products. Hey, Sad, welcome. Oh yeah, I like the pulley itself is fine, but the model I have, you had to like glue the outside part on, and it's just not true and stuff, of course. So again, it'll be fine, but all right. Well, this definitely was enough belt. It's perfectly long enough. So let's see if we can get this tightened up here. Try to get it relatively tight. Make sure we center that. Oh yeah, yep, Fabrico Honey Badger stuff is good too. I'm gonna do I still gotta keep doing my build video on my Fabrico kit. I have it mostly done. 2 or 3 more videos on that build and it should be pretty good shape, I would think. But yeah, they have good parts, fans and linear rails and stuff. Okay, I think we should be good. I like that you have this nice big wheel now. You can just turn for the bed to go up and down. Oh, I feel sorry for you, Rappy. This desk is horridly bad. It's just a piece of garbage. I I want to get a workbench, but I don't have the room in my office. So yeah, it's not fun. I think this. I think this belt is actually a little bit wider than normal. I don't know why. Where's my other stuff here? Again, if you can, buy Gates, genuine Gates belts. I think this belt that I have, it is somehow slightly just a bit bigger. I want to actually double check this. This is really stupid. What size is this belt, roughly? 6.4. Yeah, it's like almost 0.5 millimeter wider than than a normal belt, which I don't think I want to use now because it doesn't quite fit that nice on this idler. It's like this belt is a cheapo. It's slightly too big, so I'm not going to use this garbage. Yeah. Don't cheap out on some of these components. Okay. cut this because this belt is clearly garbage. So let's get rid of this. I don't know if I've noticed this before. So you can tell this belt's cheap because it doesn't have the red on the teeth. So like good belt usually has like a brownish reddish color where the teeth are. And then this is obviously like just really, really crap belt. Don't use this garbage. So unfortunately this was going to be my XY belt, but now I'm going to have to cut some of it for my Z. Because all I have left is this garbage belt that's too wide, I think. I think this is all the same. I mean, this is okay. Maybe I could use this. I'm kind of trying to use my belt sparingly. Yeah, I mean, this fits definitely much nicer, but I could probably get away with this. Yeah, I think this will be long enough. Thanks for stopping by, Maker Viking. Have a good one. Okay, so let's do this again. Let's tip this up. Hopefully this belt will be better. I can actually see where this is going here. Yeah, you can definitely use cheap belts on Z. My problem is it's not sitting nice on the idler, and I don't want it to like be flopping around and making like the Z slightly move up and down if it's not riding true. So, but once I tighten it, I think it'll be okay. At least that's the hope anyways. So, we will see. All right. Okay, let's try this again. I gotta get 2 more zip ties. Yeah, belt stretching is not good either, but oh well. This Rook 2020 is most likely going to be a display piece. I have way too many printers, so it's going to just be a backdrop for some videos and stuff like that once I get my office all sorted a bit better. Okay, there's one belt attached, one side at least. Go. Alright. Let's pull this tight. Oh yeah, it's definitely a thing. I mean, I'm not saying it as a bad thing, but it is an actual thing. You just got to have the space for it. That's it. You got to have the space for it, and then you got to know that some of your printers are going to collect dust. All right. Okay. So let's tip this back over. Yeah, that's fitting much nicer. So we will install some bolts into the tensioner. Let's just go with some of these. See if this is the right height. Yes, it is. Starting to run low on some of my belts, or some of my bolts too. I want to make sure my Z is nice and tight, so that's looking pretty good. Yeah, I'm just using the front too to make sure that it's level, and then it kind of level it off, but I'm pretty happy with that. All right, let's lock this in. I don't even know if these M5s are actually tightening properly. I really hope so. That one's nice and tight. I don't think that one is, but YOLO. All right, start clipping some of these. Okay. So there we have our belted Z. We got this nice 80 millimeter or 80 tooth pulley on the back, so you can really move your Z up and down nice and smoothly. So this is looking great. It's butter smooth. Very happy with that. So I think what I'm going to do next is I'm going to install the idler bearings and washers on the towers. I of course don't have M3 T-nuts for this, so I can't install my linear rails. But we can install the idlers and get the other motor mounted here, and go from there. See what else we can do. Oh yeah, I can actually put my build plate on here now too. Yeah, I can do that because I fixed this, so this is actually now usable. So I need to get some bolts for it. Okay, I think these will be long enough. Yeah, I'm gonna see. I don't know how much. Well, I got stepper motors actually I can use. Can definitely use some steppers. I just don't know if I have long enough Yeah, these aren't long enough. I'm trying to see if I have longer bolts for the bed. I have some, but they're not chamfered, so I can use shorter springs possibly. I don't know if I have any on hand. These are M4. Pretty sure. Yeah, these are M4. Trying to see if I have my bed springs. I do have some stepper motor boxes though for weight. Yeah, I don't think I have long enough. I don't know where my yellow bed springs are that I ordered. Maybe they're in here. This is my... Oh yeah, I got some yellow ones in here. So let's double check. These are 2 boxes of stepper motors. Okay, hey Rolo, coming a bit late. I'll welcome. Do we have talk about the frame color? Looks like army green. Yeah, this is all DFP, I think is the company. They sent me this frame for review, blind joints, and it's powder coated in this green. Really, really nice green. So this is like an army kind of theme build. Rook Evo corner pieces use. Yeah, but the problem is those M3s are socket head, and I need chamfer. I need the chamfered kind, because they got to fit flush on the bed. That's the problem. I have them. I have those M3s, but I just don't have them in that size. But I've got a ton of 20 millimeter springs, so hopefully 5 millimeters I should be able to. Do, but we'll test it and see. I think these will work. Let's see here. Yeah, I think these are just going to work. They just stick out the bottom, so I got to go get some prints off my X1 and we can get that bed installed. All right. Got some adjustment knobs here. We're going to put some heat sets in them, and we are going to use those. Got to get my fire hazard soldering iron out though. We'll get those installed. Been waiting for a DFP frame, been looking at hot pink, decided between Rook and Pandora's box. Oh, okay. Yeah, they make some other cool stuff too on their site. Yeah, it's... I need to print out all the STLs, Aaron, and like do all that kind of stuff, and get a printables page for it and a video and stuff like that before it goes to printables. But you know, if people are supporting me and they want the files now, that's why we put the step file on Patreon, so people can grab the step, load it in Fusion or Onshape, and export the files as STLs, and they can start printing now. So, but it should be out in about a month. Let this heat up. Yeah, I'm very happy with this frame. Usually I'm not a fan of like the darker green forest green, but with this kind of sand color, it's pretty cool. I kind of like it. It's definitely unique. So I'll move this down here. I'm sad, Canrog, that my rook bed isn't going to fall anymore. That was my favorite part. I'm going to miss it. Use this as my surface here too to make this nice and flush. This filament looks really, really white on camera. Looks like a sand color. In all fairness, my bed like I never had any issues with bed drop. It's only when you're first setting your printer up, you know, when you're changing clipper configs and stuff like that, where you don't want, you know, you power off the bed, or you power off the printer and the bed falls. Once your printer is like up and running and you're printing on it, like your bed's basically never gonna fall. So that's usually why I didn't bother with it on Simple Core or the Rooks, because I was like, it's not a big deal. But I can see why people like the geared Z. So Panda, full-size Panda will have geared Z. I will have a gear reduction on full-size Panda. I made my own gear reduction on Cappy, so I've got all the parts ready. That's one other reason why I'm working on Cappy right now, is because a lot of the parts of the Cappy, my Cappy 3D printer, some of those are going to carry over to Panda and other designs. So all right, heat sets are in the thumb screws. Let that cool down there. So hopefully I can push the bed down far enough to be able to thread these nuts on. So we will see. It's going to be a little annoying, but it should be okay. There we go. Yep, those will work. Yeah, yin, exactly. The Rook is meant to, you know, keep you on your toes and make sure you're not falling asleep while you're printing. It's a feature. Let's get these out of the way. I had my Rook, or I had Simple Core 330, which is a huge printer. It's like 500 by 500 external dimensions. And I had just normal belted Z on that, and I never had any problems with belt drop. Because like I say, the printer was up and running and I was using it. But yeah, the bed never dropped. It's just when you're like building the printer and you're changing the config and stuff, you can have bed drop fun. But it is nice to have the geared now. There we go. Perfect. I was actually able to make that work. So I finally have my bed from my Fabrico kit on here. Yeah, that definitely would be a problem if you do prints during the night, but I never print overnight. It's one rule that so two steppers, it can't hold two steppers, this is pretty heavy. Do I have one open here? Actually, I've got a stepper right here. That's not a problem. So it'll hold one. Mine's pretty loose though, so one stepper will make the bed drop. But it can pretty much hold one stepper motor. My Z is very, very free moving, so it does move very easily, but yeah, the 4-to-1 gear reduction certainly helps quite a bit. And also, Jaff J, you can just make sure your bed goes to the bottom when it finishes. You don't want to have your printer finish printing and then not dock the bed at the bottom. So I had a end print macro set up. So when my printer was done printing, it would lower the bed all the way down to Z max. So yeah, your bed should never be falling when your printer is working properly. It should finish the print and the bed should just lower down to the bottom, and then your printer should shut off. Perfect. Super rigid. I don't have a build surface for this, so we're going to use painter's tape. Actually, maybe for this build I'll do Kapton tape, because I don't have a PI sheet for this. The 4-to-1 is going to let you make finer Z adjustments too. Yeah, you'll definitely get some more resolution on the 4-to-1 gear reduction. So yes, you can print very fine layer heights and stuff like that, certainly. It's a lot of pros. Does add a few extra parts, but this is actually a relatively nice piece. But with the V0 bed on here, this bed is already pretty heavy. So like this almost will fall on its own. Like it's almost to the point where it's just falling by itself, but yeah, you can easily set up like a print end in your clipper config so that when your print stops, it just lowers the bed all the way down to Z max. That's what I did. And then yeah, you don't have any bed drops. Okay, we can do some Z idlers. Sorry, my car is in the shop, so I'm just making sure I'm not missing any messages. And my vehicle is done getting winter tires on, so after this I can go pick it up. Okay, idlers in here, so let's get those out, and I need some washers. I might be able to use some washers from my Fabrico kits, I think.
Thought I still had some in here. Oh yeah, I've got a few in here. Some nice precision washers from Fabrico. I thought I had more than that, but I got 3 at least. Yeah, the Rook's a blast. No matter which Rook you build, it's super fun. Lots of mods for them. Excuse me. Lots of mods for them. You know, people are still building Rooks all the time on the Discord. Yeah, had to get winter tires put on my car today because it's gonna be -10 Celsius tomorrow. This week it's gonna snow pretty much any day. Okay, so we're gonna tip this on its front here. And I need to get some M5 bolts. Yes. 147, almost 150 Rooks. It's actually really good. Like, again, I'm still humbled and shocked by like all the people who want to build a Rook and all that kind of stuff. So it's really awesome to see. I'm sure this fits. It seems like way too... I don't have any shorter M5s. I think this should fit. I might have to swap these out later. Yeah, that'd be a nice temperature, I wish. Our summer and spring, or summer and fall is pretty much over. It is getting to be winter time. This is an excessively long M5 for this. I just don't have any others. I'm gonna have to order some M5s as well. I've been building way too many printers and I'm running out of stuff. Running out of the staple parts that I have. So of course, the front idlers, it's a washer, 2 bearings, a washer, 2 bearings, and then a washer. Oh, 6 and rainy. Yeah, that's no fun. Yeah. Oh, awesome. That's going to be a fun build. Dino Nugget should be really great. Yeah. It is definitely that time. And I mean, for the most part, I'm okay with winter. But I don't like -35, -40 Celsius and like tons of snow. I don't like that. But -10, -15, and you know, just a little bit of snow here and there, that's fine. It's the extremes that I don't like. Try to get this washer in here.
Just migrate cells for the winter. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I've thought about moving to different countries where the weather is maybe not as bad as here. It's definitely tempting. Try to use my X-Acto knife here to actually slide the washer in place. I think I got it. There we go. I really like plus 15 to plus 20. Then it starts to get too hot. Yeah, well, don't come here anytime soon. Minus 30 all the time, it seems. Okay. This is like way too long. Everything's really nice though, but yeah, that I don't know why 40. Oh, I think these are 45 actually. I don't think I have any M5s that are shorter than that will still fit. Oh. No, I'm a liar. I actually have some proper bolts. So let's do that all over again. Yeah, and we get tons and tons of snow too, so it's last year we got lots of like rain in wintertime, so it was all ice. Literally everywhere you went was ice. It was not fun to drive around or walk anywhere or do anything because it was like raining and freezing constantly during the winter. I gotta take all this back out because I found the correct M5, which is good, but waste of time doing all this. Let's actually use the right length M5. Or a more correct M5 length. Everything's falling down. So Canrog, do you guys in Norway, do you run studded tires on your vehicles? Like, is that mandatory? And are winter tires mandatory? Is it the law? I was gonna buy studded tires this year, but I don't really think we need studded. And there can be some disadvantages to studded tires too. This is just not wanting to cooperate now.
The city don't require studs. Okay. Gonna do some. Slide this washer all over again. Excuse me. Okay, so this should be the correct length. Much better length. Those run nice and smooth. So yeah, again, I recommend just using F695 for idlers and stuff like that because they're precision round, unlike 20-tooth idlers, which can wobble if you buy cheap ones. Winter tires are mandatory. Okay. Ah, nice. I wish I could ride a scooter all year round. Okay, we'll do another idler. I don't really have a whole lot else to do. I need more parts. The main thing being is I need M3 T-nuts. I don't have any apparently. I ordered some yesterday, but I ordered the wrong ones. They're for like 40 series profiles, which is really stupid. I think those are going to be a pain for me to find in Canada without getting on AliExpress too, so that should be fun. I need some washers, which I do have washers at least. I think I do at least. Oops. Yes. Do have M5 washers, so that's good. Yeah, the US is like so spread out and stuff. Yes, certainly. F695 are generally just better all around. They will last longer. They're rated for much higher usage. And yeah, they're just generally better quality no matter what. Yes, I can mount the main board. The main board that I'm using on this printer is like an 8-bit, just bargain bin garbage MKS board. Like it's an old board. So I'm just gonna mount it with like one screw maybe or two screws. Come on. Bearing is a bit seized on the M5 here. Let's thread it in. But yeah, I do have the main board that I'm going to use. Like I say, I'm trying to build this printer using spare parts. So that's my idea, at least anyways. I'm just using what I have lying around. I like to recycle and I like to reuse parts that I have versus buying new ones. So even though like it's an old 8-bit board, I'm pretty sure I put Clipper on it and I'm pretty sure it'll work perfectly fine. I think I had it running Clipper beforehand on another printer. I don't need these anymore.
I don't even know if I have enough bearings for the Y carriages too, so I'll have to check that for next stream. Now to fight with this last washer. Yeah, that's a huge advantage, not having to pay for all that stuff on a scooter and whatnot. Forward. So I'm just sliding in the washer. I'm tightening this M5 so that it's relatively tight so that the washer will stay in place, and then I'm just slowly backing it out until I can slide it in between the bolt. And then once I can do that, then I can slide it in the rest of the way. Usually works pretty good, but it does take a little bit of trial and error. There, I got it just where I want it. Here. I assume you have like amenities and stuff super close to you, Canrog. I think like, you know, European countries and stuff like that are generally pretty convenient for that kind of stuff. You guys also have really cheap flights and stuff. I don't know about in Norway, but I know in Europe, like, flights are so cheap in the country. In Canada, flights are stupid expensive. It's actually cheaper for me to fly to the United States than it is to fly within Canada. There we go. We have our idlers all mounted up, ready to go. I was hoping I could run belts today, but I don't have the stupid M5. Okay. My main board. So yeah, this is the board that I'm going to be using for this build. It's an old MKS 1.4. I always struggle finding the actual, yeah. So this is an MKS base 1.4. It doesn't even have an SD card slot, so you just flash it over USB. It's just a fancy RAMs board. It's 8-bit. It's an Atmega like 3560 or whatever it is. 3560, yeah. So that's the board that we're going to be using. Again, it's totally fine for this build. So I'm going to go ahead and use it. So let's flip this over. And I don't actually know where this is going to mount, but maybe I can get two. It's unlikely, I guess, if I could get two mounts to line up for this, but again,
It doesn't really matter too much to me as long as it's held in with one. We're good. I think I want it right up in this top corner here because I want to be able to get access to the USB cable can run straight out here. So I think we'll mount it there. I do have to mount one of these panels though because I don't have any bolts put in this yet, so. I think these are 2208s. I think these are 2208 drivers. But I could be wrong. They might not even be. They could be old school. Yeah, I think these are like 4880s or whatever, like old school drivers. It's an ancient board. But it works fine. Like it's still going to print great. And it's just going to be that typical old school noise when printing. The driver noise, which is kind of neat to have. So, yep, hot glue, zip ties, and painter's tape. It's going to be the most high-end printer ever. I am trying to go a little bit more mid-range with some of my printer builds. Like I'm kind of getting sick of cheap parts and not being able to, or like them having affect print quality, you know? So I'm trying to spend more money where it counts. See if I can actually get this in here. Yeah, I'm legitimately gonna hot glue a lot of this because I don't need to worry about it. I just basically don't want the panels to rattle essentially. Oh, this one is bolted in. I could easily put a nut in there, I think. If it's convenient, I will put a nut in, but if it's not convenient, then I ain't gonna bother. Let's try and line this nut up with a bolt hole. It's perfect, just like that. Yeah, I'm with you too, Joanna. I keep thinking Kenrog's in the Netherlands or something like that. Okay, so let's tighten these up. Well, most of the bolts are in. The bolts that count are in. All right, I think this one needs to be tightened. Yeah, that's pretty good there. So yeah, I'm just gonna mount this board in here like so. I'm assuming these are heat sets, probably. Hey Grathido28, welcome. So I'll do one more heat set there, and I think we'll end the stream there because I have to get my car. I'm gonna have to go here right after this to grab it before the shop closes. I wish I had filament that accessible. Although Amazon's gotten better with stocking Polymaker, and Amazon now has the Sunlu Meta PLA, which I really like. My entire Cappy build is out of Sunlu Meta PLA because I really like the color and it prints very well. And it's cheap. I think it's like $23 Canadian. And they seem to stock it now, so that's awesome. Yeah, we're just kind of wrapping up. It's just a hour and a half stream, but we'll stream here for a couple more minutes, and then yeah, I gotta get out of here and pick up my car because the shop closes in another hour. And I'm out of parts now. We've done as much as we can. We'll do a quick recap. I got the belted Z is all fancy and nice. I'm excited to use that. I was able to reuse my V0 bed that was like manufactured incorrectly. I was able to fix that. That's all mounted. We got the idler bearings in. Next stream, we should be running belts, tool head, getting the X1 hot end installed. Like, I have pretty much everything else for this. It's just the M3 T-nuts that screwed me over. I was hoping to do the belts today, but the M3 T-nuts really messed that up. So there's our single heat set in there. I don't know where my square is, but I make sure to turn off this, unplug it. All right, so we can mount our board with a singular bolt. I could definitely make a mount for this and then just line it up with the existing holes, but I'm kind of going a little bit lazy on this build, and I'm not really, like I say, this is going to be a show build for the most part. I'm just reusing parts and stuff like that, so. Soldering iron of death and fire. Yep. Sounds like a cool soldering iron, but not that good. So yeah, there's our board there mounted up. I'll tack it in with some hot glue, of course. But it's easily accessible, and I am pretty sure I've put clipper on it before. And we got our Z all working, which runs very smoothly. The build is definitely coming together. So next stream should be a much longer stream. Like I say, we'll be able to mount the linear rails. I've got a nice Berserker rail for X. I have all the motors for this printer. I have a power supply for this printer. I've got a Bamboo X1 hot end for this. I printed out a modded rookery for it. That's all ready to go. And I have a BMG clone extruder we're going to use. And yeah, we might even be able to flash clipper on this next stream, maybe, depending on how much time I have there. So I want to thank everyone for coming and hanging out with me. It was a super fun stream. I'm really enjoying the streams on Saturdays. Hopefully I'm not as sick next Saturday. We are going to be building Panda Mini on the next Saturday stream. So that'll be really fun. We'll make some good progress on that. I got to start printing out parts for Panda Mini. And then the stream after that will be my Voron 0.2. I've done a little bit of work on it since the last stream. Just, you know, some of the frame stuff that make it a little bit annoying and things like that. But yeah, I'm hoping to build a printer kind of every Saturday. So thanks very much, Grethados. I'm trying to just do some live streams a bit more, do some more build videos, that type of thing. Hang out with you all, chat about whatever. Just have like a chill stream and just do some builds. I've got a decent streaming setup now. I still got to just clean my office up and make sure it's a little bit better, but Yeah, most Saturdays I can't stream this time, this early because I have to take my kids to swimming lessons. But usually around 1:30 Mountain Standard Time is when I like to stream at on Saturdays. So 1:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, we'll hopefully be doing a stream next Saturday for Panda Mini. Oh, hey Oliver, welcome. Super early for you. Yeah. Um, but yeah, appreciate everyone tuning in and hanging out and chatting with me. We actually made a good amount of progress. I'm pretty happy with what we did. I would have liked the stream to go for another hour or so, but can't be helped. But I have to go grab my car, so I'm going to end the stream there. Again, really thanks for all the support. Thanks to Canrog for making the Rook 2020. I just gave him the Rook CAD file and had a 2020 frame in that CAD file, and Canrog did the rest with the help of some beta testers. So really appreciate that, and feel free to join YouTube membership to support the channel, or go on Patreon, or whatever you would like. I have merch too as well if you want to check out my website. But I'll catch you all next on Saturday on the next stream. Thanks again, everyone, and happy building.